As a business leader, do you continuously strive to improve your decision making and judgment? If so, this video can help you do that. If you benefit from this video, you learn anything useful, or it helps you, please share it with others. Thanks. So we're going to talk about a famous, basically a god of behavioral economics. Couldn't think of it. He won the Nobel Prize for it. And that, of course, is Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. But in the book by Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow, he talks about System 1 and System 2 thinking. So System 1 thinking is fast, intuitive, emotional, and unfortunately, it's also overconfident and highly biased in a variety of ways, including the overconfidence bias, the confirmation bias, and so forth. So while intuitive fast thinking has its place, and it is faster, because of the evolutionary biology behind it, it was designed to keep us alive. Rather than make perfect decisions, it was designed to make fast decisions so we could run away or fight or freeze rather than do anything else. You can't do deep deliberative thinking when a bear is about to eat you, but you can certainly do it in other cases, which is almost always in modern life. Unfortunately, we're still more influenced by our emotional fast thinking system, or System 1, than System 2. But because it is overconfident and highly biased, I love the way it's been put in by a quote attributed to Henry Ford, and that is, thinking is hard work. That may be the reason so few people engage in it. And by thinking, I don't mean regurgitating somebody else's knowledge. I mean thinking, reflecting, and understanding, and then expressing something in your own way, or creating your own knowledge. That's real thinking, not just saying, well, I studied this and I can remember it. That's not thinking, that's repeating. So because System 1 is so much more often wrong than the slower, more intentional thinking, slow thinking, or System 2, it's really important to integrate that into your decision making. Now, it's unfortunate that these days it's become extremely popular to say, oh, trust your gut, it's always right. Well, that is deeply, completely, unscientifically wrong, to put it in simple terms. It's not never right, but it's only right within a certain very specific subset. And I'm going to talk about what that is in one moment here. But fundamentally, it tends to be a very highly inaccurate, unscientific way to approach your decisions. And your own confirmation bias, that is, when you do make that gut decision and you're right, you remember it disproportionately to when you trusted your gut and you made a poor decision. Unless it's documented, both the good decisions and the bad decisions, you have a highly biased opinion about your gut feelings and their accuracy. And that's normal because you're human. You're dealing with the same software and hardware that every modern human is, which tends to be emotional and highly biased towards intuition, though it is rarely the most accurate way for you to make judgments. So essentially, except for cases where you have extensive knowledge, experience, or practice making judgments in those areas specifically that you're making judgments on, you should probably rely more on System 2. So 𝗬𝗂𝗂𝗶 is a professional poker player, and she has an excellent TED Talk, which is called Lessons on Decision Making, or sorry, 3 Lessons on Decision Making from a Poker Champion. Now, she's more than a poker champion. She's brilliant. She's, in fact, one of the people that Elon Musk chooses to follow because of the way she talks about thinking and reasoning, or that's my anticipation of it. So this is a couple quotes from her and from that talk. I will put it, I think it would be right there, will be the link if you see this in YouTube. Otherwise, please check in the description, because I will leave the link in the description also, and that is, our gut is extremely vulnerable to all kinds of wishful thinking and biases. Of course we want to think we're right. We're the big boss. We're the business leader. So we lead people, so we must have good decisions. That's why we're the leader. Or not. If it's not our area of deep specialty, experience, and knowledge, we shouldn't rely on that gut emotional experience, that system one thinking, unless we are an expert in that area with extensive experience making the same or a similar judgment using the same or similar data. Okay, so the next thing she says later on in this talk is, while we shouldn't ignore our intuitions, we shouldn't overprivilege them either. So it's really, really important. It's like, don't ignore your intuition, but it isn't the be-all and end-all. And again, unless you have extensive experience, knowledge, and expertise in making those judgments, you should probably be very cautious about listening to it. Integrate it, but don't rely on it. So to make the most of all our knowledge and intuitions, here's a way you can check your intuition by asking some questions, by asking 3 questions, in fact. To check your intuition, start by, you're going to have your intuition first anyway, because that system is faster than your system through to thinking. So you will have that intuition immediately. But put it aside for now. Now, ask yourself these 3 questions to recheck your intuition before moving on. So this is about sort of slowing down in a sense, right? You want to slow down your thinking to shift into conscious thinking, intentional system 2 thinking, and make an intentional analysis of your intuition. And you do that by, 1, asking this question, and that is, am I an expert in making this judgment? That is a judgment with the same sort of variables, with the same sort of details in your expertise. So if you're a coach and you've had much experience and expertise in making judgments about coaching the people, either your sports, your athletes, or your reports, if you're an academic coach, a business coach. If you had a lot of experience, then your intuition is likely to be more reliable. So are you an expert at making this kind of judgment? Okay. The next one is, do you have expert level judgment on this topic? So if one of your athletes is injured, or one of your reports makes a bad decision, ask yourself, am I an expert? Can I judge this as an expert to see whether this was a good decision? And how should I treat this before giving them further advice or resolution after coaching them to figure it out for themselves? Do I have expert level knowledge? So that's number 2. And number 3, do I have extensive experience and documented track record of making these kind of decisions and previous judgments with which I can judge against? That is, have you not only made extensive judgments in this same area, but do you have it documented? That is, you have all the judgments you've made, so you can look and see the percentage of times you've made this judgment and were correct versus incorrect. If you don't have that documentation because of confirmation bias, which all humans are subject to, you're likely to overweigh your good judgments and forget, ignore, or discount your bad judgments. So without that objective list, be very, very careful about trusting those judgments. So unless your answer to all 3 questions is right, if it is, integrate that information. If the answer is no to 1, 2, or 3 of those questions, disregard or downgrade that intuitive judgment and focus purely on your system 2 judgment. That's it for Crush It Club episode 101, How to Think Better by Thinking Slower. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.